everybody, it's Ben in Beta, and I'm back with another live stream. I don't do these too often, but when I do, I try to pull in some pretty special people, and I do have some pretty special people this evening. So without further ado, let's welcome the team from the House of Rags.
What's up?
Hey. Oh, yeah, I put my name as whore. Sorry, Ben. I didn't mean monetize.
Well, starting it off right. Let's go.
Sorry, Ben. I didn't see that until you went live. I was like, oh, Lord, I called myself a whore.
Mistakes happen. You like to move fast. We were talking about this earlier, right? You're moving fast all the time, and you're going to make mistakes sometimes. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the live stream. I appreciate you taking time to do this for a small little channel like mine. It's an honor really to have you guys on. I've enjoyed your YouTube channels for a long time. I was excited to hear about the House of Rags when it launched, and I was telling Eddie a little while ago here that I've spent like $1,000 on that site so far. Just a few months. So it's got a lot of really cool products, and I could probably spend tens of thousands pretty quickly, but I have to rein myself.
Some pretty good stuff over there, huh, Ben? What tell us about your shopping trip?
What'd you buy for $1,000? I'm interested, man.
All right, hold on.
I can tell you your affiliate money isn't adding up to that spend.
I've made $125 on affiliate.
Yeah, well, everyone thinks that you're rich. You know that we pay.
Yeah, so.
Affiliate life's pretty tough.
It is.
Right now. Everybody thinks.
Here, I'll show you what I bought so far. Let's see what we got. So we've got the goat, the Diva back in stock, and the Diva rinseless. So I really like those. You guys, the towels are good.
Ben, if you look at your numbers, scroll down. Look at when you started buying. Order what? What was your first order?
Right when Pan launched.
Order 2,000. Lord, that's cool.
Yep.
Nice.
That's wild.
That's early on. Have you had luck with the shipping? How'd your boxes show up? Give us the box report.
You know, I've had no problems with any of the Thor boxes. None whatsoever. I had some issues with the DIY detail stuff, but none.
Here's the wild part about this, right? So we fixed our boxes because we've never had logistically a company like this.
Yep.
So we fixed our boxes. We actually paid somebody to come in and do like an analysis of, hey, this is how much weight you should have in each box. And then per this weight, here's how much you put in. The one issue we're having is, and I think we fixed this, so shout out to DJ, is the packaging. So no matter how good your box is, bro, no matter how good your tape is, if you don't pack that mug with packing paper, guess what's going to happen?
Yep.
Something's going to leak.
Look. That was happening with some of the orders we had from DIY Detail when I was shipping them to California. A couple that didn't make it. Like twice, 2 or 3 times in a row that something just didn't make it there. But we had they were pretty heavy boxes, but it happens.
Yeah, it happens. Once you start getting the gallons in the order, stuff can happen.
And then what pisses me off the most, and maybe this is I shouldn't be crying like a little girl online, but is why would you put a gallon? Oh, let me rephrase this. And we own this, right? So Jamie and I are constantly working with the warehouse to get this right. Why would you put one box in the size of a refrigerator box? Like you put one little package inside of a refrigerator box. That I don't get. So
sometimes weird choices are made. It is what it is.
It is, and but it is all part of the product, right? Because the product has to get to the customer, and even within that, like when I ordered my rags last November, they came all in like their own individual bags, right? And now you have packaging on top of that, and that's part of the product experience. And they're really nice bags. They look really good, and it's probably cheaper to put them all in one bag than to have 30 extra bags outside. Maybe it's not. It might not be. I mean, it might be more expensive because you're printing on those bags, so that there's that too, which people don't consider, right?
Drives up the cost of those printing plates.
Yeah, we have to actually buy the plates.
Yep.
And they're expensive. So it's not just cost per bag, it's cost per plate. And then every time you change your color, things you've been in Will's My Ride. You're both like UX or UI, user experience experts, right? So from us, we wanted the user experience from the beginning to be like they open a package, they could take one out, close the package. Because a lot of people don't have cabinets like Jamie and I have, right? But what we
they're pretty helpful.
We didn't know is how long it was going to take. because we had ordered our first round of towels a long time ago. It didn't hit until after we launched, and then we had ordered this round of towels to ship quick, so the other ones we could have the packaging right away and we could position those. But it didn't work out. It didn't work out that way. It was a flop.
All right, I think my Shure mic's on now. It said the Logitech Tech mic was on. Yeah, now we're see. I asked this guy for audio check every podcast. He says we're good. Mic's never hooked up. Never hooked up.
We could hear you.
I don't know what's wrong.
You sounded real good. I'm confused.
Sure it did. Anyway, yeah. The towel journey has been a journey indeed. It started off with the Ziploc bags.
Mm-hmm.
We those worked out, get us started, that kind of deal. But then we moved on to the nice bags, and they're going to continue to improve. Wait till you see the next round of packaging that's coming.
Oh, the next round of packaging, phase 3, we call it, right?
Phase 3.
Phase 1 was like Tony Stark inside of a cave. He made what he made.
Yep,
with what he had.
That is a perfect comparison.
Yeah,
phase
2 is like
phase 1 was we're abducted by the the Taliban, and we're forced to make good towels as fast as possible. And the first Iron Man suit wasn't very good, but it got him out that cave.
That's right. It just gets you started, and then you build from there. So Mike has a quick question. Do the towels come pre-washed? They're ready to go right out of the bag. Is that correct? But are they pre-washed? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, the Ziplocs were not. Those were not pre-washed. Those were just stuffed in Ziplocs, and good luck. But the packs are pre-washed.
Awesome.
These next rounds are like will be under such strict quality control. Like phase 3 is going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. We're going to have unmatched quality. They're going to be on point, like to a T. Every towel has been touched by hands, been looked over, washed. They're going to be off the charts. Just wait for phase 3. This is Hulkbuster phase, all right? Where we can beep. It's going to come from space, land, and we're going to be able to fight everybody. Sweet. We're going to be ready to go.
I mean, I could show you one new towel.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jamie, what do you think, Jamie? Should I drop the heat?
Drop the heat.
Drop the heat. I'll show you one new towel. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, I think you can.
I don't know what he's going to show you, but this towel could potentially be 6 to 12 months down the road. So, oh my goodness, it's the Orange Goat.
Wow.
Orange Goat. Shout out to Orange Goat. This thing's going to be awesome. Sweet. There you go. That's all you get. Don't ask about that towel for another 6 months. Okay.
It's not coming for a while, but like the phase 2 of towels were like get them in bags, but then we can't. I've learned in a long time in my IT career, I don't blame people. So we're a company, we're one company, right? So I don't be like, oh man, our designer can't spell microfiber. No, that's on us, because you know what I'm saying, microfiber, we own that. We stuck a sticker on it. This time around, we put process in place, so now we got 3 people checking, and they got it right. They check. Because we didn't have anything set up. It was just like Jamie and I, and bro, I don't know if I can't read or it's my. I was like, oh, that sounds right. That looks right.
Look, it's happened a couple times now. Just from the idea to kind of the what do you call it, computer graphic? I don't know what the mock-up. Computer mock-up, and then sending that computer mock-up to print, stuff can go wrong. All right, I don't know how it happens, but stuff can definitely go wrong. So passing files around, sometimes the misprint file gets sent, that kind of deal. So you never know what can happen, but it happens. So right now we have classy glossy boxes for the glass coating roaming around for phase 1 of the glass coating. So we're just going to power through those classic glossy boxes. We ain't changing it. It's just the box.
But the labels are going to become like collector's items for people.
You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe save it. In a couple of years, it'll be special or something. I don't know.
So that brings me to my first question here today, which is this. I did a podcast with Ivan, and I kind of walked through his thoughts on how he develops products, and he's been doing that a really long time. That's basically his entire career. He's been developing products.
Yep.
And so for you all, I guess. I don't know if you've told this story before. I haven't seen everything that you guys have done, but I'm curious, like, can you tell us a little bit about your origin story of the House of Rags, and then the initial vision that kind of led you to not only create your own products, but also a storefront that sold competing products to that? Like, who does that? Yeah. I'm just curious.
Yeah, we basically compete with ourselves. Pretty interesting setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it shows that there's enough room to eat at the table. So I'll start it off. So I went on this journey about a year and a half ago. Over that now, it'll be over
about
that.
2 years.
Jamie,
About 2.5 years.
Two and a half, because Jamie has Infinity V1 still on his thing from a year ago. So it was 8 months before that. I wanted to start a line that the things weren't expensive, but they were good. That's what Detail Co was. The first products we made were actually the compound. I didn't even have the pad yet because I was still courting somebody else. We had the panel prep. The panel prep was solid already. It's done. The compounds. I asked Jamie. Jamie was like, "Nah, I don't want to do it. I want a tile championship." And then I asked him again. I said, "Are you ready?" He says, 2024. What did you tell me? 2024? 2023?
Yep. I said, what did I say? What was that year? Yeah, 2024. About a year ago. I was like, at the time when you asked me, I was like,
no.
What are you doing? I'm like, you're doing what? I'm like, you just keep working on that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. But, ask me about in a year and we'll see. I was like summer of 2023.
Yeah. So then a year comes on and I tell him, hey, I got these things finished. You ready? He's like, I'm ready. We have an investor. Sure. It's not a firm. It's not a company. It's one man. One of these days we'll introduce him. I think we should introduce him pretty soon, but he's the one who's been backing us up from the very beginning of the dream of, can we make it was supposed to be like a freaking chemical line that, and then a place, it was the website was going to be detailco.com or detail.co, but then it was going to be, let's bring in other brands and sell other brands. Cause I think competition breeds excellence, right? When someone's better than you, it makes you be better. I think it always does that, right? So that's why anyway, so we started that and then it turned into, we should sell towels. And then Jamie's face went from,
the towels came before even I think bringing on other brands, because that's when I was in. That's when I was in 100%. It was like the chemical being another brand is kind of cool, but it's like a pretty good uphill battle. Just being trying to start a brand from scratch, that kind of deal. I mean, you can look at Nick and Ivan starting DIY Detail. Their first 6 months was not pretty. It's a grind. It is tough to launch a brand, even if you're Ivan LaCroix. And if he's having a rough 6 months, anyone's going to have quite the journey, uphill battle. But then it was like, what if you made towels? And we started a towel line too.
And then we said, what if we brought brands in that we can't get here?
Yeah. And the brands we've been reviewing and we like and we know is the best in the world at what they do on different levels of what they can accomplish. And then it was like, oh, we're off to the races. And then it was like, we looked at each other and we're like, everyone's about to get mad, And it's like, okay, off to the races then.
So it was actually just a dream just to make some small stuff that turned into something real big. And then the machine was like, okay, how big can we get it? Can we go globally?
Yep.
And it's not for money, because what you don't understand is that Jamie and I are not millionaires. Like we get a salary.
Yep.
We put all our money, or the money of the company goes right back into the House of Rags proper, right?
Wait, you weren't millionaires from YouTube though? Like you guys weren't millionaires from YouTube? Like,
no,
are we all millionaires?
No. Yeah, everyone's getting paid on YouTube, right? Everyone's getting a check, big old fat check. Yeah, no, definitely not. But the international side started, I think, when you started courting Pan. Pan was interested in starting his line. You're like, well, we're going to be distributors, and he's like, well, are you going to be everywhere? Because I gotta be everywhere.
Yeah, Pan was
hey guys, I gotta be worldwide. And we're like, we can handle that.
Yeah.
So it was just like, how big can we grow it? So that kind of propelled us to be an international brand as well. So it was often
it does come with its own issues, right, Jamie? And like, to be transparent, it's like
so many issues.
It's like the issues. I don't know how in depth we want to get, but we should make a series called "Making a Brand," because the issues of making it is insane, right? So we didn't know tariffs were gonna come, so we got raped. And then we had to pivot. So we didn't know having a 3PL company box your stuff. It's out of mine in Jamie's control. Like I know companies like ADS, Car Supplies Warehouse, they pack their own stuff. They have their own warehouse. They pack their own things. They send it. Their packaging is better than ours. I'm just being transparent.
For sure.
So it's working with a partnership with a third-party vendor in Chicago, who's actually like our lifeline. Without them, we wouldn't be able to ship the almost 20,000 packages we shipped already in the 7 months, right?
No,
so
definitely not.
That's a growth problem, because getting that narrowed down so we don't get individuals or companies like, yo, you're not treating our stuff with respect. I think that's important. And I believe it's like, if I sold Nike stuff and Nike stuff came to your house damaged, they're like, nah, we done. So it's the presentation from the time they see it on the site to the time they get in their hands, right? That's important. That's one thing.
Ever fighting battle.
Yeah, that one's we're still trying to get narrowed down. It's also processes. We're our startup. So I was fortunate in my career that I ran I was able to just be a leader in my other businesses. And we put processes in place to better communicate because we're all remote. Yeah. Like my wife is with me. Ivan's in California. He's our guy from California who is our CSR. Jamie's in Louisiana. We see each other like 4 or 5 times a year. This year is going to be a lot of traveling together, but everything's remote. So no one knew how to use Monday. No one had to do project management, how to finish something all the way to the end. Like those things didn't exist. I had to set those things up. So now we have daily stand-up. I'm treating it like a agile. We have daily stand-up. We do last 24, next 24. We do planning sessions. We talk about business planning. Like we take it to that level. Those are the things that we have struggled with. On top of selling out of stuff from overseas. Like I didn't know the brevity. I didn't understand it. When you buy stuff from overseas, 3 months minimal before you get it. 3 months.
Yep. The towels, it's like 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. Yeah.
You know, that's what's crazy too. Like as that site, the site has grown to. I'm trying to equate it to something else because. And we'll get into this for a second because I know I was talking with Will a little bit about this. He's taking some flack about saying this is the best detailing site, to go buy products from, right? And he took a lot of flack from that.
Will took hits.
Yep. Will took some. And if you don't understand the meaning of flack, you know where that came from, right? Back in World War II, when they would get hit with something would explode, they'll get hit by the flak from the stuff exploding. So you're getting hit first. Yeah, it's nuts, man. Will took those.
And I think what's important about that is, especially channels like Will's and I's. Like Will's a little bit bigger than mine, but in the same realm, right? We're not Pan. We don't have millions of viewers. We're like that's a whole different animal for us.
Yeah,
we really can't recommend something that isn't good because people will like we're so small, people will just stop watching us, right? So that's a big deal. Yep. And then I don't have people knocking down my door necessarily to say, hey, do you want to try this product? Hey, do you want to try that product? I've gotten some really good partnerships with like Kuat Racklets on the back of my truck. That was a great partnership for me, but I haven't earned any money off of that other than they gave me those products for free, which was a big deal. Like that's massive for a channel my size. But I think I made one sale for $38 on $1,500 rack. That's what I've done so far. So I feel like I'm not doing my job with the brand because they gave me that stuff, right? Like I feel bad about that. Yeah, it's crazy. So I think it's hard you want to affiliate yourself with people you enjoy or brands that you enjoy that are going to be good. I know everything on your site is going to be great. I know that if I send a beginner detailer, which is kind of my audience, to your site, they're going to get a good product no matter what they buy, whether they buy your Detail Co stuff. Got some product placement here for you, right? So we got some, Nemesis,
nice.
Yep.
Nemesis. I don't even have a bottle of Nemesis.
Or your Diva towels, like that kind of thing, right? So I got some of that there. But whether they buy that stuff or buy something from a different brand, they're going to get good products, and that's what I think Will was trying to say. And to take flack for that's kind of rough. And I actually then found a Reddit that is talking about your, the House of Rags and Will, and it's like it's crazy.
I don't read Reddit, even though I've been in IT my whole life. I don't read Reddit.
I don't even know how to sign into Reddit.
So I know someone said, we get roasted on Reddit, which I'm so busy that I know people hate me. I know people hate the brand. I care less. Like whatever.
Yeah,
nothing I can do about it. Like you love what you love, you hate what you hate. Like, but if I did something to offend you, I apologize, and that's as far as I go. If I didn't offend you, you still talk about me. That's between you and God. Got time for that.
Right. And again, like there is no other site like the House of Rags where you can. I guess Obsessed Garage has some of that. There's a few other ones, but not one like this one. I feel like and that also sells products that are affordable. Because some of those there's some of those other spots in there. Correct. But to your point, Eddie, you guys are trying to also build a line of products that anybody can afford. and I have a video coming out that it's not out yet. I'm editing it right now, but I had a friend of mine who's the Devos light guy. So he I don't know if you guys have seen the Light Ranger lights, but they're super portable lights. They're awesome, and I met him through that. And we were talking one day about detailing vehicles, and he said, "Hey, I would love to learn how to do this." So I brought him in, and I gave him a bunch of different options. One of them being this. I said, "Hey, this is $10. This is not much of an investment to get started." And he liked it. He was like, "This is great." And that's all that really matters in the end. If you're going to buy something and it's going to be great, you're going to be happy with it, and then you can go try other stuff from there. But I don't know where all that hate comes from. You guys don't deserve it. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I'm lagging a little bit, so give me a second.
Yeah, I don't know. I still let it. I just keep it moving, man. Before, it used to piss me off to the point when I want to fight somebody. Now I'm to the point where they're going through something else. They might be going through something else that we don't know about. So
it's true. Exactly. You don't know. And people don't, when you have success, people want to take it away from you. Like, that's just the way it is, because they're not successful too. There's some of that for sure. But Will said he can't lie. So if you're the best, you're the best. That's how Will feels, right?
Well, Will made me fix some towel prices too. He was like, "This pack's a little suspicious." I think I did have it for an extra towel in there, so I fixed that price, Will. I think that was the 600 Freebird. So those are correct price now, nicely, below everyone else's.
He had some
where they should be, because
like new arrivals.
We got some good deals.
Brand pages, right, Jamie? He said, we should have all that. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea.
Some great suggestions. Yeah.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, Will's background, again, people coming from the non-detailing space and just enjoying it and being able to share that, we've got different perspectives on things, which is pretty cool too. So it's fun. It's fun to do that for sure. So now we kind of know how you got started, and I guess I'm curious for each of you, which is your favorite product that you guys, whether it's something you sell or your own branded product, what is your favorite and why?
Oh my Lord. What a question. What is my favorite products or brand and why? Every brand I brought in, this is gonna sound so dumb. So Ben and Beta. Excuse this. Every brand we brought in has been my favorite. Like, those are the things I like. One thing that I have been loving lately has been the Yum Detailer. That Yum Detailer thing slaps. And for a drying aid, that's nuts. And I thought, I still love Amplify, I still love Lightning. And then, Garage Therapy makes one called Detailer and Sigma. But it's insane.
Yeah,
I love all the brands that we brought in. The brands we brought in is stuff I've used and I love.
You can't build a better site than that.
Yeah, no,
Jamie,
that was kind of the basics of it. Was these were all brands. Yeah, we wanted to stop. Originally, we were like, "What are we gonna bring on? Like 5 brands, call it a day." And he's like, "But we have more. We've made relationships. We've told people, these are the best brands. We got to bring them all." That's what he's like. He's like, "We got to bring them all." I'm like, "All right, let's bring them all then, whatever." So that's how we've wound up with the collection we have today with all these brands. They're all our
the brands at House of Rags.
We've reviewed,
in my opinion, are the best. They're the best brands that you could if you go in there and you pick a brand, you won't be disappointed.
Right, you're not going to lose.
No, you go there. I would say the worst product that we carry, and I'm gonna be honest. Look, McKees, I love you, McKees. Okay, all
right. Don't do that to Nick Rudder. What?
Hey, I will say this, and it's just me being honest. I hate Nemesis. Nemesis kind of jaded me, but it jaded me because of foam that pissed me off, right? So it's kind of like the brother you had that you love but you hate, that one. But it's good. Nemesis now is better, and then McKees has one that I hate, the tire. Well, anyway, there's just a certain stuff I wouldn't buy, and that's more like this guy below me bringing it in, and it's just one product. It's not the product line; it's the one product I wouldn't buy, like the tire rejuvenator. It's good, but I feel like Chemex is better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I'm talking about, right? The tire rejuvenator.
Every brand has a tire rejuvenator. That's a hitter.
You can't be good at everything, right? Like every brand probably has a standout product no matter what. Exactly. Yeah, no matter what.
For sure.
Yeah, and we don't want to hey, we think this is your 3 good products. So we're only going to bring in these 3 good products. You know what I'm saying?
We try to bring in, we try to bring
I don't want to do that.
That's tough
So,
too, because we still don't have all of McKee's. Because Ben, McKee's line,
I'm not bringing in all of
is
McKee's.
too dang big, bro.
That's huge.
Nick, no, yeah, we're calling it a day. All right.
Well, that was fun, and I think those are great answers to that as well. And it makes sense. You wouldn't put something on your site that you wouldn't use on your own vehicle, right?
No,
Like
they're the best. Like
exactly.
You go from ADS all the way down to Yum, Visitor, Garage Therapy. I mean, pick a brand. Go do when we think of cleaning a car,
I'm like,
you just clean a tire, wheel, and get a tire dressing from any of these brands. You're like, oh my Lord. You'll start with one and say, dang, this is great, right? You put Ghost on, you have to wait 6 months, but you start with one, man, this is great. You go to another brand, get the wheel tire cleaner, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. And then you'll get to the point where you're like me and you don't know which one you want to use.
Right. They're all, exactly.
If I had to pick a favorite, got to pick our dudes from Bow Bombs, because they're just a different lane.
Yeah.
And they solved the problem that was in the detailing industry. They made it a nice little kit. They packaged it nice for you. They made the solution. Great branding, great people. Our dude Christian got Godfrey over there. That we met their whole team back at MTE.
Yeah, that's true.
Great team. Bow Bombs. We brought them to SEMA with us for a reason. Our first SEMA, we were like, y'all coming too, you know what I'm saying? So we brought them for a reason, and we're planning on bringing them back. So Bow Bombs is probably my favorite brand, and just they're not even close to their pinnacle, because there's a whole different sector of people that they need to reach out to and get kind of traction with, because they can go, their stuff can be used inside houses, that kind of deal, the janitorial services. There's a whole market Bow Bombs hasn't even quite tapped into yet, and it's coming. Like, once they get in front of the right people, and they're going to take over not only just the detailing industry. They're beyond that with their stuff.
Pretty wild. I mean, From I won't say they're I think they're great. They're amazing. I can't say which one's my favorite. It's like picking between Isabel and Wanda. Like I shouldn't do it. They're all good. They're all good.
Yeah.
If they weren't good, we won't carry them.
Exactly.
So you have lots of different products, right? It's not just chemicals. It's not just towels. You also have mechanical products. You have brushes. You have a lot of different stuff that you've developed of your own brand as well. So I want to walk me through the process of, from idea to a finished product for one of your house branded things. Like, how does that come about, and how do you make the decision where you want to go and what you want to create, and how does that happen?
The wheel brush. I'll go off the wheel brush, like the inside barrel brush. I like Jamal. I call him Jamal. It's the easy wheel brush, but sometimes it's too big, especially like the cars I have. The calipers are too big, and you can't really get in there, or you feel like you're shaking it loose, etc. That one, we asked for a sample and we tested that. Here's how it works. It's holistically.
Yep.
Jamie's like, we need this. I'm like, cool. I deal with the foreign stuff, so I'll research. I'll tell him to send us a package. I split it with Jamie. We test it. He'll be like, this is dumb. And he'll go, this is terrible. This is how you talk, this is terrible. Or he'll say, this is dumb, right? And then we test it. We tested what we have, what we like, and we go one more iteration. Sometimes we don't like the handle. Sometimes we don't like the way it flops, the folds in and doesn't bounce back. And then we ask for another sample, and those you have to pay for, right? So it starts from ideation of what is a need that we have, to testing, to we hate it, to testing again, to we hate it, to testing again. Same thing with like soap. We went through 6 months of the worst soap you've ever experienced in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, soap was hard.
Yeah. Soap sucked.
Yeah. So Jamie, I'm going to toss it back to you. So Eddie's saying, you say we need this. So how do you determine what you need? Like, when this is what we want to put on the site, like, how do you make that determination? Is it just a feeling? Have you done some research, or you're like, this is a hole in our product line?
Yep. When every time I'm, going to scrub a tire, and I'm like, we don't sell this brush. Where's our brush? You know what I mean? Like, we need at least a basic tire brush in the house. So that's kind of where something gets to going. Or like, you're using the drill brush, and you're like, we can probably get some drill brushes, right? Like that kind of deal. So we got some basic drill brush kit now with the one everyone likes, and the toilet bowl one. And the mini one, that's just pretty much it. When you're using something and you're like, we could probably make this, right? Like, there's a will, there's a way. Now, if you can make it better or be, innovative about it, that's where it gets difficult. That's more of Ivan's specialty. He can really, a polisher needs a battery in the middle, and he builds it from scratch. That's that's how Ivan does it. Me and Eddie ain't that technical with it, but. And then if we're like, we need a mid on the stick, we just go straight to auto fiber, and we just find the best in the game and get it directly from the source. So auto fiber took care of a lot of the gadgets we needed from the beginning, with the wheelbarrow microfiber brushes to clay towels to the mitts on the sticks. Now we got mitt slides in there. So if they're not already making it, then we're like, we need some brushes, we need tire brush, we need a wheel brush. We'll get on the process of that.
Are there any products that you guys have created where you felt like you have done some innovation in the space in some way, shape, or form? And which ones might those be?
Mine is the towel Jamie thought of. Even look, here's how baffled all right, man. Yeah. This glass towel, the Diva glass towel, was it's a Frankenstein, right? So we're at SEMA sitting at the booth of a towel manufacturer, and we're working a deal out because we want to work with one nice one from beginning to end. And this one him and I talked about the whole 2 days before we sat down with him. This dude's legit. So he's sitting there with them, and my Korean brethren buys us coffee without even being told. Like, I feel like there's like 18 cameras on us. He sits there, he pulls the towel out, he goes, all right, here's what I want. This is him. I want this with this weave, with that weave. And the guy who creates towels, like, he has patents on towels. He looked at him like this, and all you heard was, how did you? And then you hear Jaden say, yeah, he said that was a crazy idea. Why didn't he think of it? So I think that, to me, like the glass towel, how do you redefine a glass towel? I think he did it. Maybe that's blowing smoke up his anus, but I feel like the Diva glass towel is unique in its own right.
That's one of the towels I haven't gotten yet, but that's one I need to definitely grab, because glass towels are like one of the things that are my favorite, because I my glass has to be clean or I just go nuts. I don't know why, but I like to be able to see out of my glass. So
yeah, glass can be tough. It's an art form in itself. But yeah, I think our towels, the whole towel line in general, is pushing the limits of what microfiber can do, and especially drying towels. Like the goat, we push that thing to the limit and just being as beefy as possible without being like too big, I guess. But I think we nailed it with the goat. The Diva, we were like, we like borders. Let's throw a border on one, make it kind of the perfect size. Some people still think it's too big, but we love that towel. We love our drying towels. The Diva rinseless, really, I don't know why it shocked us so much, but it came in.
It did. We were like, I first thought this sucks.
It's incredible. We were blown away by ourselves making the Diva rinseless towel.
The only towel I really cared about was the goat. I didn't care about nothing else. Oh, and then I needed level 1 and final level to feel like a Klein, a zero finish towel.
Those are nice.
So those are my favorite. Yeah. Jamie gets all happy. He's like, oh my gosh, we got to get this right. I don't like that. He'll be like, send this. I want pure suede. I want this to be like, he's all into it. I'm like that with the chemicals. He's like that with towels. I'll be like, hey, did you test this chemical? He's like, nah, we good. So that's how we usually work it out.
Well, and Jamie, you have a little bit of a background in towels too, right? Like you did a lot with towels on YouTube and How to Rags. Is that correct? You did a lot, like, yeah. So that's kind of, it's your baby almost. Like that's what you really love about detailing.
Yeah, I love towels.
And I think it does say something a little bit that, DIY Detail has your towels on their site now too. Like I think that's for Ivan, I think to put something like that on the site, I mean, that's a big deal. I would say, like he wouldn't just put anything on that site. So I think,
of course, right? We have some future collaborations coming in with DIY Detail for sure. So we've been working on that. Those are going to be pretty sweet. So stay tuned for that. But Ivan has his critiques as well. He
does.
He likes his towels a very specific way.
It's hard to critique when Ivan loves Kirkland's.
Yeah.
Ivan's like Kirkland. No joke, dude. My first interaction with Ivan was a pleasant one until he took my expensive towels and started doing solutions finish with it.
Yeah.
And then I think his words are like, just put it in rinseless. I'm like, dog, rinseless ain't taking that out.
Yeah. I think me and Ivan are along the same lines with You know, like we like towels and we like a good quality towel, but we don't like it. You know, the towel shouldn't be like there's a premium side of microfiber where it's like that's ridiculous prices. Like,
no, I don't agree.
And Eddie liked those towels.
I don't agree.
But
I think they should be an investment. I think a towel is something personal, kind of like your favorite hair product.
Yeah.
Hey, you use some Harbor Freight towels.
I think that's a lot of the detailing space too. Like for the intermediate to professional detailer, people fall in love with stuff, and like this is the best thing that it is for me, right? Like whatever that, like this product was made for me, and that happens. Whereas like I think the beginner side, it takes a long time to figure that out. Like this is something I really love, and that was one of the pieces of advice that I gave my friend, who we were kind of going through like what you could buy, and to get started was just when you do find something you like, keep some of that on hand. So when you try something new, you have a comparison to like, I really loved this product, and you always have that ability to go back to the thing you loved, and you might find a new love, right? But it's okay to experiment. But you see that a lot where I think people hang on to this is the, McGuire's Gold Class is the best car wash ever because that's what I've been using for 30 years. And it's like, well, we've come a little ways since that released. Right? So it's okay to try new stuff too.
Yep.
So
Gold Class does slap though, I'll tell you that.
It does. It cleans your vehicle, right? Like it does the job. So.
I just used McGuire's 205, 210, and 110. I was like, good Lord, bro. It'll haze the mud out of your. I was like, that it's still 10 years later, still a banger.
Yeah, how's the Harbor Freight towels? You bought a pack of them, didn't you?
Hot trash. I used them all for dirty jobs and I threw them away.
Yeah, I bought them when they first came out. They were like super cheap,
dude. They were
definitely worth the buy. Yeah, they're like crispy.
They're like crunchy, and I was like, no, a wash ain't saving this. You ain't saving that with a wash.
Yeah, you'd see a couple of them with a couple of burnt edges on them, but overall, it'd be good for a pinch.
And back to the towels, I've had a couple of people when I've showed them those towels, like, oh, you could use those for the bath, and apparently, people's wives are stealing them and using them in the bath. So you could start a new line of bath towels if you wanted to. I bet you'd sell them really well, actually. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
that goat towel's huge, bro. Like if you think about the size of a goat towel,
and it sucks so much water that honestly, it could be pretty good for something like that. It's soft.
Yeah. Franco's in house.
Franco's here.
I forgot you could reach out. I haven't been a guest on the podcast.
I just found it myself.
You've just been enjoying the conversation.
Yeah, I've just been chilling. I now I see chat. I'm gonna go back and get out of it, Ben, so you can talk.
I don't know what to do with my hands when I'm just a guest. I'm like, I just click on.
I'm not doing the justice of being in the chat because I'm doing everything. So like, if you want to chat, go for it. Like I have no issues with that whatsoever. Just really quick, before I go into the next question, because I forgot at the beginning, and Ivan will tell me you need to do this in the first 5 minutes. If you're new to my channel and you just jumped in here, if you haven't subscribed, it'd be super helpful if you did, because that's how my channels grow. So you don't have to go out and use my code on Thor, but if you want to, you can. It's been in beta and it saves you 10% as well. So if you want to get back to the channel while giving yourself something, go for it. That's my quick plug.
There you go.
Appreciate that.
Cheap plug.
Yep.
Ain't nothing wrong with a cheap plug, all right?
That's right. So my next question is, can you talk about a product that maybe it failed, maybe it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, how you handled that and what you're doing? And I have a feeling I know what you're going to talk about, but maybe I'm wrong. So I'm not going to.
He's over there sweating, he's rubbing his eyes. He's about to have to go take a.
I think. All right, so every single product that we have tested vigorously, right?
Yeah.
So remember, we're testing Swamp Water, we're testing My Water. We didn't have any outside testers. But what we did was we experienced a few things, and I'm going to answer your question. I just want everyone to know, like, every environment truly is different. When you're in a swamp, humidity is a key factor, right? Jamie's hot as sin over there. He's sweating. He's like, humid's hot. He was spraying.
I tested everything through the summer.
Yeah, through the summer. So it's like hot and muggy.
I put it through brutal testing.
So we found out that Infinity in his area, you spray it straight. It does not cure fast. It's like he just wipes it. He said it was phenomenal. He still has it on his panel for over a year. Mm-hmm. I did it the way I would do it, I'll do a spray or I'll spray my towel and wipe. Infinity instructions say nothing of the sort, right? So what we've learned is everybody's humidity is different. So Infinity cures so fast in some areas that if you spray straight on a panel, it's the worst experience in the world. So I think
what's happening is in the drier areas, if you're using it straight, rule number one in Infinity should be go ahead and dilute that thing because it is a concentrate. It's a concentrated product. And in some areas where it's a little dry, they're spraying it and it's actually curing before it's even hitting the surface of the vehicle. Yeah, it's curing midair. So we're going back to the drawing board with it. We're working on some revamps, but it's a fantastic product if you can get it to not cure on you so fast. And it also it also hates any other protection on the vehicle, period. Whether it's coatings, whether it's old, if you're going to use it straight, you really need to treat it almost like a 3 to 6 month kind of coating. So it needs to be like a completely bare paint if you're not going to dilute it and use it in that kind of way. Like if you're going to apply, let's say, can coat, you're not going to put it over, you're not just going to spray willy-nilly and put it over. You're going to prep the vehicle. You're going to probably give it a light polish. That's what you really need to do with Infinity. And that's our fault for not kind of doing that up front and going.
In reality, this guy, this dude, this one, in reality,
but I have been saying since the beginning, it's like a water-based can coat.
But if you have a wet car, if your car is wet, not rinseless wet, where it's kind of slightly wet. I'm talking about you wash your car and it's wet, and you can spray it straight and dry. You're fine, no problem, zero issue, zero. It's those people who
it does work pretty good.
GG, bro. That's between you and the Lord. So that one was a flop, and I don't think it was the product that was a flop. It was the instructions. Right, our instructions, Jamie and I read it. We're like, we're good. We both understood it. Use it this way.
We both
understood each other. But what we learned is not everyone speaks our lingo, and then we need to have proper instructions. Right. The real flop of this story.
There's a reason why there's not concentrated spray sealants on the market.
Yeah.
No one else has dilutable spray sealants, right? Like who else does?
Right.
It's not.
So you have a unique product.
Us two idiots. Have that thing ready to use.
Nemesis was a flop. The first batch, I
remember watching that video, by the way, when you talked about that, and you were like,
"Our sponge, with Nemesis."
Hey, we had it dialed in at one point. All right,
it was
dialed in. It was bananas. But something there. So the difference between product testing and then going into full production is the size of the batches, right? So once you amp it up, something can go wrong if you're off by, a fraction or decimal or whatever. Numbers can get off real quick, and then you get the big batch, and maybe someone forgets to mix it right before filling it down the line. Stuff is settled. That's kind of a bunch of problems we had with the first initial batch. So Nemesis had to be dialed in big batch production style after we had dialed it in kind of with the small batches. So
it's good to go now. It's good to go now, but
that's what happened to both Infinity and Nemesis, because there was some pretty crazy Infinity results people were getting with the first batch of Infinity 2, and I definitely think it settled and then was filled and had some really concentrated bottles. So, it happens.
So how do you handle then something like that happens? How do you handle what's the customer relationship piece like there? Because obviously I'm sure some people are blasting you. Some people are just reaching out and saying, hey, this didn't work the way it's supposed to. Some people are going to post videos to try to get as many views as possible and say, look, this is curing while I'm spraying it, right? Like they're going to do those types of things. So how do you handle that in general? Do you I guess I'm just curious, like
if you're Jamie, you roast them, but no, I'm joking. Jamie doesn't do that. But you accept responsibility, right? If it's not working as you said,
just gotta take an L.
Yeah, you take an L, you replace it. Like you say, hey,
send in the group chat. We're taking L's today. We're taking L's today. Everybody,
yeah. You just you own it, right? You don't blame anybody. You own it. That's what you do. You just own it. Like, hey, man, sorry that happened. Let's send you another bottle. Like for example, we had an instance where something froze and separated. Well, people don't mix chemicals no more. So we just replaced it. At the end of the day, though, you have to take every criticism as the truth to grow. Because if you don't, and you say, well, it can't be, you're doing it wrong. You're just not, what it reminds me of? Like, reminds me of a developer who's writing code, says it works on my dev box, pisses me off. when I used to run a development company, it pissed me off. Like, what do you mean it's working on your dev box? In production with 1 million people, it's not working. Something's wrong, right? So I treat it like that. There's a problem, fix it. And then we'll work on it and then replace it and then move on, right? So
yep,
that's the way you should do it, I think. So I love that.
And rule number 1 of like the 4 secrets to life or whatever it is don't take nothing personal. Just, all right, take the feedback, write it down. Their experience is their experience, right? It doesn't matter if like we say, oh, you should have diluted it 1-to-1. You should have had a wet cloth. Their experience is their experience. So we got to be based off their experience, take the notes, take the feedback, and try and improve from there. Criticism is an opportunity to improve. That's right. He's been through it all. His 40, 50 years of this journey, of his journey. So he's a good one to sometimes we'll text Ivan, like, what would you do in this situation? He'd hit us with some wise words of Ivanisms. So he's a good mentor to have in our back pocket as well.
He is definitely that. He's been good to all the DIY tubers as well, and I think he answers every single everything everywhere. He never sleeps for sure.
Yeah.
Last couple questions here. So here's one thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Again, I've done a lot of beginner detailing stuff, and one of the things that I think, if I'm a beginner and I go to your site, I'm going to go, whoa, what do I listen to this YouTuber or that YouTuber, this person? What do I buy? What do I need? And I was thinking, I need to create someday the Ben and Beta beginner bucket. Like, this is what you need, right? Like, buy this bucket and you're going to have the bucket and everything you need to be able to get started, but it's going to be good quality stuff. So how do you guys think about being approachable for new people coming to your site and helping guide them to the right products for them to get started, and not buying the most expensive product and then having a bad experience with it because they maybe don't have the experience to use it properly?
We created kits. So if you go to Thor kits, you'll see like a Weekend Warrior exterior. Or
we had no idea like kits were like, people want a kit. They want to be directed and they want to be told like, this is what you need to get you started. This is the, products you need for a full wash, protect, that kind of deal. We had so we've learned that along the journey as well. Like, oh, people like kits. So speaking of bucket kit, we're actually working on that, coming up with that kind of deal, because people love them. People love just a complete kit and nicely packaged, that kind of deal. And they're off to the races.
I think we should do a kit for every brand though. Like, I think an ADS kit that would be good. Like a hybrid kit would be like Shampoo Plus and Hero and a towel. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yep.
So I think we do need to revamp our kits or keep the site fresh. I'm gonna be honest; these kits are just put together when we think about them, because we're doing other stuff. Jamie and I are so busy doing other stuff, and we're the only twos touching the site. It doesn't get done. So
let me put it another way to you as well. If you were going to build a kit for beginners, from the products you guys sell, what would that look like? For each of you, what would you put in a beginner's bucket?
That's a good question. Say this is probably something we have to reach out and be like, take a poll or something.
Yeah.
Eddie, what's your beginner bucket? Go.
I'm just thinking my dad. My dad hates diluting stuff, right?
Yep.
So it's like my dad's not gonna dilute crap. So if I tell Dad, use Guardian 10-to-1 for the inside, he's gonna be like, I'm not doing that.
You can't put Sodero in the bucket.
You can't put
Infinity in the bucket.
I'm trying to think about that because it depends, right? Are we talking about beginner, or someone with common sense? Because my father has common sense, but if he goes in and I send him stuff all the time, right? True or not, this is no cap. He's an ADS fan, so I bought him a mystery box. That's his. He loves that crap.
Nice.
I'm like, he likes Ivan, so he'll use Ivan stuff, and he'll be like, "Hey, Jamie the Cleaner, what does he like?" But he has specific things he uses. So a kit for me would be, I would do. Oh my Lord!
Those are two brands, right, that have done a great job of having your chemicals ready to use, having All Clean 15-to-1 when you buy the 16-ounce, having Tire Cleaner 4-to-1 when you buy the tire cleaner. So those are two brands who did a really good job of having their chemicals kind of ready to go on any level of experience. You buy a bottle, use it, and you buy the gallon if you really like it. So
I'll go with, I'll give you 2 examples. Like, so I think in the chat here, I don't know if he's still here, but my friend Brian doesn't know anything about detailing. We did a little bit of stuff last fall together. I bought him some stuff and said, hey, start with this. But, he doesn't love detailing, but he loves the results of detailing. So he wants it to be as quick as possible. He doesn't want to have to think about it. When he's got time, he wants to go do it and be done. And I think there's a lot of people out there who are like that. And there's another just quick example. In my latest beginner series, I bought a really $109 pressure washer, and I washed a vehicle with just the absolute least amount of things you would need with a pressure washer to be able to wash the vehicle. And people were like, oh, everybody's going to upgrade all those accessories immediately. And then I walked around my neighborhood and I saw 5 people washing their vehicle with a pressure washer with no upgraded accessories whatsoever. So I'm like, I don't know if that's true, right? Like, so how do we help those people? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard.
And I have a brother-in-law that's like that. Has the basic pressure washer, has one bucket. The dirty rags stay in the bucket. You know what I mean? So, like, how do you make it simplified enough for those types of individuals, those customers looking to clean their car, but they really don't want to put in the maximum amount of effort. You know what I mean? They just want to get it clean, have it shiny, and move on with their day.
Like, Ben, I got this text from my dad, right? This is what he sends me. This is from a user. He says, Junior.
What's he doing?
He says, Junior.
You still got that pressure washer?
Oh, I bought him a new one. He says, can I use this to dry the car? You know what it was? It was dressing.
Is that Renaissance?
No, it was dressing. I was like, and I was like, no, Dad, you can't. And so you know what I'm saying? So that led us to something else too, is the beginner looks at our line. They don't understand what it is because the labels blended all together. They don't get it. So we actually changed all our labels. So version 2 of our labels makes it easier for the end user.
Yeah. Well, coming up with our Detail Co brand, we were aiming for that, right? We were wanting to jump the regular people and go to the prosumers, the professionals, that kind of deal. That's why I concentrates, very direct instructions. Low key branding was actually a big part of the Detail Co branding. And originally we were going to get a sticker model and have that part of the website where you just upload your logo. It ships the order to Vistaprint or something, sends you, pack of stickers, and then you were going to be able to put your sticker over the Detail Co branding, and then you would have your own brand ready to go with Detail Co chemicals. So that was the original plan behind Detail Co. It never got realized. It was, that's pretty complicated.
Because we learned
we're shooting for the stars,
Not only that, V2, Jamie, no one cared about that crap. They say, who cares?
Yeah, no one cares. No one cares. Yeah, they want to rep. They want to rep you. They want to rep the brand. So, like, the V2 of Detail Co is actually coming up, and we gave a sneak peek of the new labels a couple weeks ago on one of our live streams. But yeah, we're going to revamp it and be ready, because there's going to be some chemical upgrades, some label upgrades, and then Detail Co is not here to play no more games after that.
I mean, that's a lot of good learnings, right? Like, you guys are constantly trying to get better, and that's the most important part in the business, because if you just stand still, you're going to get passed up, which is, I think, what has happened with a lot of the long-standing brands. They're like,
correct.
McGuire's, I still have, the gold standard wash. That's something they still have in stores. And it's like, okay, but is there better stuff out there? Not that it's bad, but have you evolved? And more and more people are seeing the other brands, which I think is great, and that they can be good or better. Yeah. But if you want help, like trying to figure out a beginner's kit, let me know. I'd be happy to think about it with you.
I'll do a Ben kit. If you send Jamie this stuff, I'll put a Ben kit on.
Sure.
Well, I'll think about that. I'm gonna talk to Brian. I'll talk to Brian. We'll come up with an idea of like.
The problem with kits though is that you can't see. This is another issue, is that you can't stack. Kits already discounted, so you can't stack your coupon code with the kit.
Sure. Yeah. I think if you're helping people though in the end and they're getting into it, then that's okay too.
Yeah, if you can come up with a kit, we'll make it for you.
I'll put it on the website, no problem.
All right, I'll think about that. I'll think about that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, going back to brands being complacent, I think the last 5 years, I think in the detail space, there's a lot of complacency going on. So I think we shook things up a little bit, woke everybody up a little bit. So should get fun in the next year or two.
So last couple minutes, because I want to keep you too long here. Looking ahead, anything that you are really excited about that's coming up? Like, what's your most exciting launch that's coming up that you want to talk about?
So I actually just dropped a teaser post this morning. It says emerging soon, Memorial Day. We have a new brand dropping on the House of Rags. And this is our marine line. So we've been testing and coming up with some boat products. We actually sponsored a wakeboarding event coming up in Fort Worth, Texas. Pro wakeboard tour. So that should be fun. I think we're going to go check it out and be part of the event as well. And stay tuned for that. The brand is called Wake Eater. That's all we got right now, but more coming soon for sure.
Cool.
That's that. Mine is, we're gonna drop something so wild by SEMA.
Now we got a big plan for SEMA.
It's
all right.
It's yeah. That's the one we're working hard towards. The Wake Eater stuff is kind of cool. We actually have stuff that fishes could drink, doesn't kill fish. So like we legit have certs, have stuff, and then you'll see.
Yeah, this marine line is gonna have gonna have stamp of approvals on it. It's gonna have the safest chemicals ever in a marine line. I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. I mean, it's a new product category for you, so you're building on as well, and that's what you want, right? You want to be able to continue to grow that business in the right places. So,
going back to that, if you look at the website, there's no marine stuff on it, right? We were missing a gap there for marine detailers, so we're about to fill that gap with the Wake Eater stuff, and it's gonna be a fun brand. It's gonna be not like Detail Coat. it's gonna be a real fun, eye-catching, fun names, that kind of brand with hard hitting chemicals.
Should I show the label?
Let's give Ben the scoop. Let's show him the official.
All right, let's do it
logo.
Now?
Yeah.
All right, let me pull it up. It's nuts. This logo is bananas.
This logo is nuts.
I've been saying that SEMA is going to be epic as well. So I feel like I need to get tickets somehow and get to SEMA this year, especially since I'm only 6 hours away now. I can get there.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, you got to come up to SEMA. SEMA's a blast, and our booth this year is going to be worth the trip. It's going to be worth the trip.
This year is going to be huge.
It's going to be.
We
nuts.
got Luminous coming. Yum. It's going to be wild.
Oh yeah, that's another brand coming soon. Luminous.
Sweet.
We'll tell you more about that as the weeks go by, but get ready.
All right. Here it is.
Oh, look at that. Wake Eater. What did I say? The baddest
it's just fun label
products to ever emerge from the seas.
That's a sweet bottle. That's awesome.
What you think, Ben? Pretty cool.
I like it. I'm liking that a lot. Yeah.
He's eating the world or something.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. This one product has me stoked.
What's that?
Our the Gone one, the one that just kills.
Oh yeah.
That's the nuttiest thing.
Real stout soap in this line. It's real good soap. I used it on a disaster boat and it cleaned it right up. Real good stuff.
So
yeah, we gotta wash the
you gotta wash the fan boat. So yeah.
Safe for the gators. I don't know. That's the commercial I'm gonna make. I'm gonna go in the swamp, wash a fan boat. It's safe for the gators, y'all.
Have you ever seen a $100,000 bass boat? I have never
Phoenix boat.
$100,000 boat in my life. Like, I've driven in cars that cost that much, but when he showed me this bass boat, literally with 3 seats, and the tires look better than my Cadillac tires, I'm like, yeah, there's the problem, dude.
The boat trailer has rims.
Yeah, the boat trailer has rims.
That's crazy. That's expensive. I think that the fan boat in the swamp gator video, I think
that swamp gator will hit.
Yeah.
Safe for the gator. You safe for the gator, and
safe for the gator. I like this. Well, I just want to say thank you for coming on for the last hour. It has been an absolute pleasure. This was a fun talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And I wish Thor the absolute best going forward. And you guys really have created an amazing store. And I love your Detail Coat products too, and the rags. Like, they're great. So
appreciate it. Yeah. If you have any critiques, be sure to message us. Don't say it here live on the internet, but you can message us, and we'll take that into account. As we start to redevelop these, do some little updates on their products. So we'd appreciate it.
No
I
problem.
don't mind getting roasted.
But I'm glad you're enjoying
online.
it.
I mean, I don't. At the end of the day, it's like feedback is better than no feedback. So the more people talk about you, that means they're using it. So I don't mind it. You say what you need to say, and then if I can fix it, great. If not, we tried. Sorry.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a review is a review, right? I'd rather you using it than not using it.
Yeah, exactly. It's free feedback. The review part is it's free feedback, so you might as well take it. And I'm excited to see what you're doing. Like, you're already excited about the next versions of the things that are already really good.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
like,
dude.
where it's going to go, right? Like, that's awesome.
SEMA, like the store itself is going to be, it's like V2 Thor by this SEMA. So be ready. We got some big plans.
Huge.
Be ready, everybody, for SEMA. It's coming. It's coming. I'm excited. You got me excited. I'm going to try to get to SEMA now because I'm not that far away. We'll see what happens.
So, Ben, can I say something? Saturday, though, we're launching something Saturday. I'm not.
Yeah.
Saturday's
we aren't.
Saturday,
we'll have it on the store.
Be ready.
Yeah, new product hitting the store Saturday, and you'll see it on their channel. Stay tuned. It's gonna be a fun one. It's a good one too. I've been testing it last couple weeks. Real good. Thor V2.
That's right.
All right, Ben. It was a pleasure, man.
Yeah,
we appreciate
you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate it so much, and I'm sure we'll meet up again at some point. Maybe at SEMA. We'll see what happens.
Indeed.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us on.
Thanks everybody for joining as well, and have a great night.
Bye-bye. Thor V2.
Thor V2.
Thor V2.
Number 2.